Welcome back to Native Strength. I'm your host, Hayape Shali. Today we're going to talk about how the universe talks to us with numbers. People often pray for guidance. They ask the Great Spirit to give them a sign. Tarot card readers, psychics, and astrologers are very popular and work hard to try to interpret the messages we're given. Many people seek out a spirit guide, a particular animal they can relate to that will give them guidance. They also want to know the meaning behind the animals they see frequently. They think this may be a way the Creator is trying to send them a message. Lots of people talk about spirit guides and their feelings about certain animals. These animals may be calling out to you, but how do you know what they're trying to tell you? Let's say you feel like hawks are your spirit animal, for example, and you happened to see one today. I hope this episode will be able to help you interpret signals you may be getting from the Creator. Keep in mind that not everything may be a sign from above. 20% of the things that happen just happen and have no meaning or significance. If you've been watching Native Strength, you know what I mean by this. You also already know the meaning behind each of the 8 directions. That's the wheel of life. So if the hawk is flying from the south to the north, the message is to stop using your emotions so much and start using your wisdom. From the west to the east, work more with your enlightenment and less with your physical body. Stop trying to force things to happen. Do you see what I mean? Let's say you see an animal that's special to you and it's facing the southwest. It may be trying to tell you that your interpretations of some event or conversation is off. If it's facing the northwest, it's telling you to not jump the gun, but to plan first before you make your move. If they're running in circles, you need to look within. If they're going in a bunch of directions, well, that should be kind of clear. You're going off in all directions and need to focus yourself. Do you see that by simply knowing the wheel of life, you already have the tools in your quiver to interpret messages like these? But what about numbers? Numbers are all around us. If the universe were trying to send a message, what would be the best method? My son has a PhD in physics, and like many other scientists, he believes that math is the universal language. We have our birthday and other important dates, our address, phone number, and the time of day. If you've ever noticed that certain numbers tend to pop up repeatedly, this may be the universe trying to give you a message. I hope this episode will help you to understand what that message may be. The numbers 1 through 20 are very important, and they can be interpreted in different ways. Since we live on the planet of the children, we use the children's count to understand the meaning numbers have in our world. Other planets and beings of other worlds have different meanings for their numbers, but in many ways, they're all related. Their interpretations are often too complicated for most of us to understand. Most numerologists use the numbers 0 through 9. Any double number is added, like 12 becomes 1 plus 2, or simply 3. The children's count does that too, to a degree, but I was taught that the numbers 0 through 20 have special meanings here on Earth. So let's get started. The children's count starts with 0. 0 is the everything within nothing. It's the seed, the egg, the promise of what may be. It isn't simply nothing or a placeholder. It's potential. It's hope. It's the singularity of the whole universe contained in one atom before the Big Bang. From the seed comes one sprout. One is the number of focus. This is the first step. This reminds us that one small step in the right direction is a whole lot better than not moving at all. If you see the number 1 frequently, it may be the universe telling you to take things one step at a time. 1 also stands for grandfather sun. It means illumination, enlightenment, knowledge, and pleasure. It's the first step on our journey. It also stands for fantasy. Every journey begins with a dream. 1 is for illusion. We have a preconceived notion of how things will be, an expectation. This fantasy expectation may be an illusion. 1 is also for the east on the wheel of life. And there are positive and negative ways we each use male and female energy in the east. To find out more about what I mean by that, check out my episode on the East. Binary code is a series of zeros and ones. Our entire internet is built from these 2 simple symbols. All the movies you watch, TV shows, music, and search engines come down to just zeros and ones. Human beings are male and female, like zeros and ones. All of civilization comes from these 2 basic forms of humanity. It's often said that God created man in his image. If this is the case, God must be both male and female. In the children's count here on this planet, 2 stands for form. It also stands for Grandmother Earth. It means introspection and intuition. It stands for the ones we love and the bonding we have to certain people, places, and things. This includes our habits. Our second step is substance. Next, we investigate the form of this substance. This is the number 3 on the children's count. What can we do with this substance? What form can it take? For example, let's say what we focused on was a substance we found in nature. This is our first step, number 1. In our second step, number 2, we name this substance and discover all of its properties. In our third step, form, we find something we can make from this substance. 3 also stands for all of the plants here on earth and for trust and innocence. This also stands for the south on the wheel of life. So if you want to know more about what that means, check out the Native Strength episode on the south, where I explain positive and negative male and female uses of energy in the south. Keep in mind the direction that any of these numbers are referring to may also stand for a particular wheel of bullies on the bullies wheel. The universe may be trying to warn you. Our grandfather sun created Earth and all of her plants, and we were given animals. Number 4 stands for all of the animals on Earth. It also stands for determination. Animals bring us harmony and balance. This direction stands for the alignment of our assemblage point that I mentioned in other episodes. I'll be covering more on that in the future. Our 4th step is to remember that we can only maintain what we can sustain. In other words, we can only keep what we can take care of. This goes for our physical items as well as our personal progress. For example, if we've been able to acquire a nice yacht, we won't be able to keep it very long if we don't take proper care of it. The same goes for our mental and physical health, our relationships, and so on. We can't take our health or our relationships for granted and expect that they will always be there. As I said, 4 also stands for determination. Number 5 stands for understanding and for maintaining a balance between pleasure and pain. This is like saying no pain, no gain when we work out, but we have to know where the limit is to that. At some point, we can hurt ourselves. Number 5 also stands for humans. We humans determine how we'll use our energy. We hope to have heart-to-heart communication with other humans. We hope to understand them fully. 5 sits in the southeast on the wheel of life, and this is the direction of our inner adults, children, and elders. If the number 5 keeps coming up for you, you may want to take some time to do a flowering tree ceremony. Yes, there is an episode all about the flowering tree medicine story and the ceremony. Number 6 stands for our personal spirit selves and our ancestors, our blood relatives who are on the other side. It also stands for the Numehi, the little people that lived among all tribes. This direction teaches us to accept who we are and where we are in our spiritual development. It shows us we have to respect timing and to take things one step at a time. It represents knowing our limits and not pushing ourselves too hard, but having patience with ourselves. The number 7 stands for freedom. This number reminds us that life is really a dream we planned on the other side, and so we can change what happens to us at will. Think of it as a video game. We're in the game, but we're also playing it. The higher part of ourself, our inner elders, are in control of the entire simulation. 7 is our desire to evolve, to live, and to experience life. It also stands for symbols. When we think about symbols, we have to think about what certain symbols mean to us, not what they mean to everyone else. For example, if we're afraid of dogs and we dream of a dog, it won't have the same meaning as someone who has had many dogs and loves them dearly. One of the ways we can change our reality is through controlled dreaming. I was taught that if you can train yourself to be aware that you're having a dream and then force yourself to lay down in the dream and sleep, you can have a dream within a dream. Once you can do this, you dream what you want to happen in your waking life. Now, this obviously takes a lot of practice. The number 7 sits in the southwest, so it tells us to look at things from all perspectives to get a clear view of the truth. 8 is for pattern. Any musician knows this. It's the octave, where the note repeats at a higher vibration. This also stands for our book of life. Just as we evolve through our reincarnations, nature evolves into perfection. 8 also stands for our family. This number reminds us that we can be in denial about people we love, our own emotions, and our physical abilities. This can cause us to lose our connection with reality. 8 sits in the northwest on the wheel of life, and this stands for planning. If you see the number 8, it may be telling you that your actions are setting a good foundation for the future. 9 stands for chaos and extremes. It also represents a balance of male and female energies. This number reminds us that moderation is key in anything and that we can't always force things to go our way. We also have to be aware if we're out of balance in our body. Most people tend to favor one hand over the other. This also goes for our feet. For example, in my dancing, I always favored turning to the left. I had to make a conscious effort to remember to turn to the right equally as often. Otherwise, my muscles would be unevenly developed. Our mind works in the same way. The number 10 represents completion and our mental awareness. It also stands for the Great Spirit. Remember that 10 is a 0 and a 1, binary code, male and female. This means it stands for our conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and the collective conscious. It's deep concentration and an inner knowing that goes deeper than instinct. 10 sits in the north, so it stands for wisdom. Trust your original plan and keep going. Don't give up. Know that you're right all along. 11 is for all the stars which are suns for planets with intelligent life. It also represents our memory of past lives and the introspection needed to learn from those experiences. If we can learn, we won't have to repeat the lesson. It's a deep understanding of how to use what we've been given, an enlightened way to get the most from our resources. 11 also tells us that we need to relax and have fun. Life isn't all work and no play. We have to allow ourselves to enjoy life. Most successful people say a big part of the fun was getting there. So enjoy the ride. 12 is for the 12 planets with humanoid life forms. It's our collective conscious memory, our ancestor DNA knowledge. This is not focused on our individuality at all, but our connection to others and the Creator. Since 2 and 1 are 3, which stands for form, it means knowing how to bring about the sacred dream in a way that's in harmony with the universe. It reminds us that nothing in life is free. There are givers and takers in life. We have to balance that out and remember to give for the pure joy of giving with no expectation of a reward in return. 12 sits in the direction of introspection and intuition. It shows us that with practice, we can connect to the collective conscious. We can go within and find the answers to our questions. 13 is the white buffalo woman. She brought the 7 sacred ceremonies to the people, along with the sacred pipe. You can find out more about the sacred pipe on my YouTube channel. 13 also stands for the spirit of all the plants, knowing that death is a rite of passage and that we experience many little deaths in life that bring us to the next phase of our evolution. The big death of our body is just another phase. There is no real death, only a change in worlds. 13 is the determination of our spirit through countless lifetimes to evolve to a form that's worthy of joining the Great Spirit. 13 is death, growth, and transformation. I wrote a song about it a while back. 15 represents the spirit of all animals, our instincts, and our ability to turn off all the unnecessary noise so that we can go inside of ourselves, communicate with our inner personas, and find clarity. If you see the number 14, the universe is trying to tell you to take some time to communicate with your inner elders in order to get in alignment with your sacred dream. It sits in the north on the wheel of life, which stands for wisdom and knowledge. Since 4 and 1 are 5, which stands for understanding, this is how you'll get a deeper understanding of your current predicaments. This inner communication will show you how to advance your soul in harmony with sacred law. 15 stands for all human souls, the collective unconscious into universal unconsciousness. This is the number of controlling the dream or having a lucid dream within a dream. This number reminds us that everything is a part of us. We are the game master. Just as 5 and 1 make 6, which stands for imagination, 15 shows us how we can manifest what we imagine into reality. If we can stop the noise of the world and take time to communicate with our inner elders, we may be able to get a glimpse of the future. 15 sits in the east of the center of the Wheel of Life. So if 15 has been showing up in your life regularly, it's a good indicator that now is a great time to effect change in your life. 16 is the number of assuming authority or taking control of our power. Many times in life, we don't realize we're giving away our power when we allow others to have influence over our emotions. At the 16th step, we've learned to not be affected by others' opinions of us. We take back our power. This means we're free to pursue our sacred dream without worrying about what others think. We reorganize our thoughts and stay true to ourselves. We take inventory of our assets and what we still need to reach our goal. 6 and 1 is 7. 7, again, is the number of freedom. So we're reminded that we have the freedom to think for ourselves. 17 also stands for our enlightened masters who have reached this stage. It sits on the southeast of the Wheel of Life, which stands for approach. So adjust your approach to life so that you come from a position of authority. 17 stands for the collective understanding of all humans. This number shows us how to understand all patterns, as 7 and 1 equal 8, the number of patterns and repetitions. We use this information to grow and to heal from our pain. This is the number of science, mathematics, and physics. The fixed laws of our world will show us the boundaries we'll work in to achieve our goals. Now, this may seem limiting, but by using interpretation, since 17 sits in the southwest on the Wheel of Life, we see these guidelines as ways to step outside of the box. It's also the number of the dream teachers, the ones who teach us in our dreams. This is why many insights and discoveries are made in our sleeping state. The answers come to us in the dream. The collective understanding of physics and math can often be revealed to us in this way. If you've been searching for the answer to a problem and you find the number 17 showing up a lot in your world, try to let go of your search during your waking hours. Allow the answer to come to you in your dreams. 18 represents the holders of all of the books of life. When we see this number frequently, the universe may be telling us it's time to let go of our old ways and expectations. Remember, 8 and 1 is 9, and 9 stands for chaos and balance. We may be out of balance. This number may also be telling us to pay attention to our finances or politicians that may have a direct impact on our life. A little bit of chaos may be needed to restore things to their rightful order. 18 represents bringing our actions back into alignment with our original intent. If you see this number, it would be a good idea to examine those areas before the universe restores order for you. 19 is the number of perfect, balanced energy, being in complete harmony with sacred law and following the plan our soul has made for all of our lifetimes. 9 and 1 equals 10, completion. Now 10 is just a 0 and a 1, which stands for focus. We've come full circle and created balance from our focused energy. This number also sits in the place of timing on the wheel of life, so this might be the right time for a new beginning. 20 is the Great Spirit, the Creator, Wakantanka. It's the union of all the male and female energies in the universe to form the pure, formless light of love and awareness. 2 and 0 is 2, which is substance. 20 is the Creator's life force energy that fills every living thing until it returns to source upon death. I hope this episode helps you to interpret messages the universe may be giving you. I'm your host, Hayapeisha Lee, and you've been watching Native Strength.